what if your grandma passed away, but you could read her journal to your kids in her own voice, like an audiobook, even after she's gone? Well, with AI, that's becoming possible, and it sounds a little weird, but I've actually had some really neat experiences being able to listen to some of my ancestors' words that otherwise I can only read on a page, and it really brings them to life. I've turned great-grandparents' handwritten journal entries or autobiographies into an audiobook that's much more shareable. And again, it's something that a lot of people these days are more likely to listen to than to sit down and read something. Here's just one example of a grandparent's journal.
Autobiography of Gilbert Belknap read by an artificial intelligence narrator. Gilbert Belknap, 1821-1899. Autobiography, 1821-1846.
Now, it is sad that most people will probably never sit down and read an autobiography, but audio does make things a little bit more accessible, especially for younger family members like myself. And I don't know, oftentimes when we think about family history and preserving memories, turning hearts to the fathers and all that stuff, it often feels like flipping through an old dusty binder, and it's hard to connect with that, especially if you're not like, I mean, I get stoked about an old dusty binder now, but if you're new to it, it can be hard. So in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do this yourself. First, you'll need an autobiography or a journal entry to turn into a voice. You may already have something like this in your family tree. If you go to the Memories tab, look around, maybe you've got something in an old binder. In case you don't, maybe you'll have to ask your parents or grandparents to write something down that you can digitize like this. If you don't have this, maybe write something yourself, or take the story that you know of an ancestor and make sure it gets written down, or scan an old journal entry and digitize it. Once you have a block of text that's digital that you can copy and paste, then you can get started with the next step. So step number 2, and don't get scared, I use a software called ElevenLabs. And this is the best software for AI text-to-voice generation. And yes, you do have to pay for it, but it is very cheap. I think they have like a plan that's like $5 a month. You can cancel whenever. It's definitely a lot cheaper than other AI softwares that I've paid for. But the software is really cool. I actually own a video production company for work. And so what's crazy about this software, it's so good that me and a lot of my video production peers actually use this software for commercial work. It's that good, but it's way more fun to use it for family history work. So when you sign up for an account, you'll go to a page where you can kind of explore different voices. Here's Rachel's voice.
History is like a giant book, and every page holds a story of our past.
Here's what Dorothy sounds like.
Virtue is the light that guides us through dark paths.
These are actually all voice actors who submitted their voice and now allow the AI to kind of use that clone of their voice, so when someone puts in text, it'll turn it into their voice. Okay, but for now, let's just use a voice that sounds similar to what a great ancestor might sound like. Let's say your ancestor was Irish. Let's find an Irish voice. Then you go over to the text-to-speech tab, and you paste in your text and click generate.
My name is Sion O'Connell, and I was born and raised in County Galway.
So one more feature you could use is actually speech-to-speech tab. Basically, here's how it works. I can read this story in the way that I think it should be read, with the emphasis on the right words, that type of thing. And then I select the voice I want to change it to, and it'll change my voice with all the same emphasis and the way I read it into this audio person's voice.
Our voice changer doesn't just change voices.
Our voice changer doesn't just change voices.
Okay, step 4 is uploading it to FamilySearch. So let's go and do that now. So you go to the Memories tab or the Memories app. You can upload audio from here. Then you're going to want to add a title, maybe a description about what this is about, add the date it was recorded, or the date that the event happened. Then you're going to want to tag your ancestor so that it appears on their page. From there, you can share a link to your family, and now they can listen to this at any time. Please do this. Text it to your family members, especially those less likely to read something, but probably have time to listen while they're doing the dishes, while they're on a drive, whatever it may be. One last hack is if you have a bunch of these and you're like, oh, how am I going to listen to these? Because you kind of lose your place when you're trying to listen to MP3 files. There's a really cool free app on the iPhone called Book Player, and you can upload MP3s to it, and it'll keep track like you're using the Audible app. It'll keep track of your spot. You can save spots. It's very user-friendly, similar to an Audible experience. Or here's a cool one for parents. If you have ChatGPT, you could paste an autobiography in there and say, can you rewrite this in a kid-friendly, like fun for a 5-year-old or whatever? And then you can use that text to create the audiobook, take that audiobook, and give it to a Yoda player or something, and now they can listen to bedtime stories of their ancestors. I get that I'm kind of spitballing and this is all crazy stuff, and it probably takes a lot of time, but that's the point, is it kind of takes time to preserve these memories. It takes time to pass them on and to get people interested, and this is a really creative way that you can do it more effectively. But also, if you have other creative ideas or ways to preserve memories that we should do videos about on this channel, then let me know in the comments and I'll take a look. There's endless ways you can get creative with telling stories and doing family history work. So subscribe for more, leave a comment below, and remember, your ancestors are cheering you on, and so am I.